So this is the raised bed system I put in at the other farm. And this one I love because I lined it in limestone and then I put gravel in it so you don't have to trim around it. There's no grass that grows up in it. And all the raised beds are done in a nice thick 4x4 untreated cedar. So it's gonna last a long time and it's really durable. So it's not gonna rot near as quickly as a thinner like 2x4 would. And I'm gonna add some more tomatoes. She has planted most of them, which usually we do Amish paste, and we use that a lot in our canning because it makes a nice, really thick juice and good like thick salsa or spaghetti sauce. But I'm now gonna plant some that's just more of a slicer, which is a Moskvich, but you could do all different types. And the one, I think, big thing with tomatoes that a lot of people don't realize, whether you're growing your own, whether you buy them at a nursery, I put these in a Jiffy pod, so they have that fabric around them, and it's supposed to disintegrate, but I don't think it does. So if they get long and spindly, you can plant these as deep as you want and they'll send out roots. So I'm gonna actually plant it all the way up to here, and then roots are gonna come all along here under the soil, and it's gonna make it a very sturdy, very strong plant, because that's a lot of root that's gonna grow. So you have a whole couple inches there of roots. And I also always do them at an angle, something my mom, my grandma always did, because then that surface that is under the ground has a lot of places where those roots are gonna come out of. So you kind of make a little bit of a trough, you push it in, and then you have a tomato, you guys. The great thing about these is at this point, you want to water it. Otherwise, tomatoes don't like wet feet, which means they don't like an overabundance of water. So maybe once a week, let them dry out really well. And since I'm in the elements like this, I like to cover it. And for that, we use old field tiles. If you can believe it, in the fields, they would put big terracotta tiles, and this is what the water would drain through so they could plant things better. So these old big ones are perfect because the wind cannot blow it and it's protected. That little guy is gonna be in there probably for a good month before this comes off. And then we'll put obviously cages around them. And the cages are what they get tied to and help support them, because tomatoes get really big. There are two types of tomatoes, guys, indeterminate and determinate. Determinate means they get to a certain height, kind of stop there, and their fruit all sets like at once. Indeterminate, which is pretty much what I plant, means they get over 6 foot tall. They fruit all throughout the season, which they don't usually start till late July. They have a long period, need at least 90 days before they'll fruit. And then they keep fruiting and keep fruiting and keep fruiting, and you make so much stuff, give them away. Lots of tomatoes. So, easy, quick, plant a tomato. You can do it in a pot, but just make sure it's a big pot because they get big, so they need big pot for their roots and to be sturdy on a patio. But they're a great patio plant. I would just probably get something more smaller, like a determinate tomato or a cherry tomato, which stays smaller. Go plant a tomato, make some salsa. And if you like these videos, keep talking about them, keep asking about them, ask me questions, and then so I know what to post and what updates to post, because that's how I know what to share with you. And that's why you always have to watch my stories on Instagram, where I'm sharing these updates and new things all the time.